little adjustment. Alright, today's daily law is a good one. What is it, March 6th? The gift of the original mind. We all possess an inborn creative force that wants to become active. This is the gift of our original mind, which reveals such potential. The human mind is naturally creative, constantly looking to make connections and associations between things and ideas. It wants to explore, to discover new ideas and aspects of the world, and to invent. To express this creative force is our greatest desire, and the stifling of it is the source of our misery. What kills the creative force is not age or lack of talent, but our own spirit, our own attitude. We become too comfortable with the knowledge we have gained. We grow afraid of entertaining new ideas and the effort that this requires. To think more flexibly entails a risk. We could fail, and we could be ridiculed. We prefer to live with familiar ideas and habits of thinking, but we pay a deep price for this. Our minds go dead from the lack of challenge and novelty. We reach a limit in our field and lose control over our fate because we become replaceable. Daily law: do what the mind wants to do. Explore, entertain, and embrace new ideas. That's a good one. That's the tinfoil hat law right there. Let's see. I'm also reading this. 33 Strategies of War. Let's see what pops out of this. I'll read this first paragraph. How about this one? When looking back on an unpleasant or disagreeable experience, the thought inevitably occurs to us: if we only had said or done X instead of Y, if we only could do it over. Many a general has lost his head in the heat of battle, and then, looking back, has thought of the one tactic, the one maneuver that would have changed it all. Even Prince, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Hohenlohe, years later, could see how he botched the retaking of the, holy crap, that's a big German word, Weissenheiligen. The problem, though, is not that we think of the solution only when it is too late. The problem is that we imagine the knowledge is what was lacking. If only we had known more, if only we had thought it through more thoroughly. That is precisely the wrong approach. What makes us go astray in the first place is that we are unattuned to the present moment, insensitive to the circumstances. We are listening to our own thoughts, reacting to things that happened in the past, applying theories and ideas that we digested long ago, but have nothing to do with our predicament in the present. More books, theories, and thinking only make the problem worse. Ooh, that kind of dovetails with the daily law. Interesting. And then my third book, my go-to, Kybalion. See what this says. Let's pick a random part out of here. In addition to changing the poles of one's own mental state by the phenomenon of the art of polarization, the phenomenon of mental influence in its manifold phase shows us that the principle may be extended so as to embrace the phenomena of the influence of one's mind over that of another, of which so much has been written and thought of the late. When it is understood that the mental induction is possible, that is that mental state that may be produced by induction from others, then we can readily see how a certain state of vibration or polarization of a certain mental state may be communicated to another, and that his polarity in that class of mental stage thus changed. It is along this principle that the results of many of the mental treatments are obtained. For instance, a person is blue or melancholy and full of fear. A mental scientist bringing his own mind up to the desired vibration by his trained will and thus obtaining the desired polarization in his own case, then produces a similar mental state in the other by induction. So basically what that's saying is you can affect the change in others by rising to a higher state of mental being. So if someone's feeling bad or melancholy, blue as they described in that page, you could bring up their energy. by not taking part in theirs. And that's a lot of what's going on in the world today with media and all the drama and the news, and they want you to take part in the misery. So that's why they're pushing it at you as much as they can right now. Because they don't want people happy and satisfied. They need you miserable and lacking. And I refuse. Alright, let's hit the road. Let's have a safe journey. See what else comes to mind. Yeah, that's interesting, those two pages that kind of dovetailed into each other, because one has to do with war and the other had to do with not falling into, what was it? Darn, I forgot the title. Those looking for new creative pathways of thinking, doing, and being. I think that's a good way to start the day. Alright. Didn't check any current events. Don't really care at the moment. It's probably all the same. Let's get a little background noise. I was looking for my neighbor's cat this morning. I think it's cute how he opens the door and lets his cat roam around in the apartment complex. It's adorable. Pretty chilly this morning. A little bit windy. Oh, let's have my drink. I don't know what's in this, but let's have it. Make my turn. My birthday's in 4 days, right? Today's the 5th, I think, or the 6th. What is today? I don't even know now. I forget. My birthday's on Monday. 9, 8, 7. Today's the 6th. I'm gonna be what? 49? 49 years old. Get that title again. The gift of the original mind. That's what it was. The original mind. Before it gets locked down by the scaffolding of modern education. Mental influence. See, there's mental influence of the world through news and media, all that drama. I don't care. I like the little world I've created for myself. That's why I like being the person that reminds everybody that it's okay. And my buddy at work, he likes to get stressed out about everything. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Everything's fine. Like, what do you mean? All the wars and everything? And I'll look at him, I'm like, are the wars in the room with us right now? I start looking around like, is it here? No? And everything's just fine. It's no big deal. Access to food and water and have air in my lungs. That's a good thing. I'm gonna try and stay in that vibe today and see if I could lift everybody's spirits through mental induction. How's is the Kabbalion excerpt. Affecting change in others through the polarization of your own mental activity on the side of positive and uplifting energy. That's really what the now that I think about it, that's really the symbol of the court jester. That's what the court jester was for. It was there for comic relief. And the reason for that is, back in those days, I guess, kingdoms were constantly at war, and the king's court tended to be a very serious place. And everybody tended to mimic the attitude of the king in fear of being how do I say that? They didn't want to go against the grain. And the king's court tended to be a bunch of, for lack of a better term, sorry for cussing, but there was a bunch of kiss asses in the king's court. Nobody wanted to say or do anything that was contrary to what the king said or did. Hence the court jester. The court jester was the only person in the king's court that could actually make fun of the king. There were occasions where it went too far and they ended up getting killed. But the jester played a very important role. It was to remind everybody that everything's okay. Just laugh. Have a bit of fun. No matter how serious it gets, you gotta have fun with this. That's where I tend to be attracted to, is that type of mindset. I take everything very serious. I'm always full of tinfoil hat craziness because I listen to a lot of weird stuff. Not weird, just interesting. So I come across a lot of interesting information, and especially when it comes to world events, I tend to be ahead of the curve. I have the spoiler alerts. But then that's why I have to act like a bit of a goofball, because, hey man, you have to balance out the energy. As wild as the world is, you gotta remember to laugh. That's why I like a lot of the podcasts that I do listen to that are like tinfoil hat information. One of them's, the host he's a comedian. He's a stand-up. So that's a great balance right there, because a lot of the stuff he talks about is seriously wild. But again, he's a stand-up, so he'll make you laugh while he's telling you about the craziness going on in the world, which is why I love him. But yeah, the court jester. And I like that idea. There was only one person allowed to make fun of the king. And that was the court jester. So that term comes from holding court, which the king did. He would get all his advisors and all his closest people around, and they would hold court. They would, lack of a better term, they would shoot the shit. What's going on in the kingdom, and what is the gossip of the day, and who's saying what, and who's conspiring against who. And, oh, you heard this? Okay, let me make a mental note of that and address that later. And oh, you heard that? Okay, let's do this to make sure that doesn't happen again. That's what was the holding court was about. And then there was the court jester, and he's dressed as, if you look it up, he looks like he's dressed like a clown. And that's what the purpose of a clown is at a circus. So if you think about it, at a circus there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, right? You got the lion tamer and you got the acrobatics. That's kind of like nerve-wracking, because man, the lion tamer could get killed and those acrobats could fall and break their neck. So while you're being amazed and kind of scared at the same time, then you have the clowns to make you laugh. I think that's an important part of society that's forgotten. Everybody's really taking themselves seriously, me included. All the stuff I read, I think I know it all a lot of the time, and I have to remind myself that even all the things I do know, none of it's important. Right? Like that movie, Life is Beautiful. That's the perfect example. That movie. That man, sole purpose was to basically imbue into that little boy the idea that life is beautiful. I think it took place during World War II, like Nazi Germany, if I'm remembering this correctly. And there was a bunch of chaotic, negative energy going around during that time. But his sole purpose was to make this boy understand that no matter what, life is beautiful. It just depends on where you're putting your attention. So that was him. That was him being the court jester. Just focus on me. I'll make you laugh. I'll keep your energy up. Life is beautiful. So really, it's only a state of mind. How you perceive all of life. I have to remind myself that every day. There's no shortage of things that could frustrate you. Like right now, I want to go faster than I'm going. I'm going 60 miles an hour, which is what I should be doing no matter what, because it keeps my needle on too, like my girlfriend says. And it helps me conserve gas. But this car in front of me is also doing 60, and it feels like I just want to pass him. And that's causing me a little bit of stress, but it's fine. Really, it's fine. I'm doing exactly what I should be doing. Especially in this car. This is a sporty little thing. I just want to take off. There's a little demon inside of me that wants to just mash on the gas pedal. But he does not win. I can't wait to get my solo mic. That way you don't have to hear all this ambient noise. A lot of cars with headlights out. I feel blessed to have a car with it's functioning properly. At the moment, let's keep this going, pretty girl. That was me tapping on the steering wheel. Giving her a good girl. All cars are girls, by the way. Sorry, ladies. It's just how it goes in the man's world. I wonder why that is. Trying to find new ways to cuss. Oh man, I was watching this guy, I forget what he said, but he was using a different term in lieu of the phrase, mother effer. He was using a different phrase. Can't remember it. But me and my girlfriend started thinking about other phrases we could use so we could stop cussing. Because really, expletives are just, it's a base, vulgar way to speak. Excuse me. But hiccup. So in lieu of SOB, son of a that, the one I came up with was sand on the beach. I thought that was a good one. I have to come up with one for a-hole. Now I'm doing like 64. Those taillights look like a cop or CHP. The Dodge Charger for sure. There's no way to tell if it's a cop. Let's get over because I'm gonna have to anyways. Out of the valley. Yeah, Mike will help. That way I don't have to yell like a madman, so I'm audible. Oh, sir, you're going to be disappointed. I'm not going any faster than this. You're going to have to go around. Or madam. Could be woman. Not judging. Okay. Let's see. What do I still remember from what I just read? Law of polarity. That's a good one, actually. Because that one dovetails into the law of vibration. Especially when it comes to negative situations. That's really where it shines the most. Is negative situations. Because you have the capacity to control the movement of your mind. We all do. Or we forget that because we have the habit of being reactive to whatever the moment brings to us. And if it's bringing you good things, you know, I'm not saying maybe you should polarize yourself on the negative end just to balance it out. That's not a good thing. If good things are happening, keep more of those good times rolling. Let the good times roll. But if it's stress and negativity, that's your cue. That's your cue to activate the law of polarity. And let those good times roll. That's what I'm gonna do today at work. Hopefully everybody's in a good mood anyway. It's Friday. So normally the dude I work with is on a much better vibe on a Friday. He could be a big ball of stress sometimes. I can feel it. It's infectious. Range Rovers are nice. That's crazy. The truck behind me's got he bought all the lights for the front of his truck. That's crazy. He said, just give me all of them. Cruising at about 65. They're playing with the sides of the freeway, doing a bit of work. Woo. I didn't take a cold rinse this morning. I try to do that every morning, but I didn't do that this morning. Just to shock the body. I like doing that. But no, not today. I just splashed cold water in my face. I'm just gonna make it a habit from now on. Cold water all over. Just to wake up. And it's getting cold as I get to the top of this hill. I can feel it. Temperature is dropping. 52, 51, my car says now. I saw it change. That's funny. doing 55 right now. Let everybody pass me. I don't care. Darn, I forget the page I read. The Maid Law. Really it had to do with stay mentally flexible and don't get stuck in using old routines from the past, because just using what worked in the past will only bring more of the present. And if you're looking to expand into the future, that's not helpful. You have to start bringing in new information so you can build upon what you already know. My girlfriend says I preach a lot. I try not to preach. This is just the thoughts that come into my head. And a lot of what I read is in my mind all day. So I guess I do sound preachy. And really it's not because I'm trying to teach anybody anything. I'm just saying it out loud so it makes more sense to me. So when I do tell people at work the stuff I read, it's more that if I say it in a way, because I always say it and then I say, does that make sense? And most of the time it's yes. So it's like, okay, cool. In my mind, all right, at least I understood it. I don't care if you do. I just want to make sure that what I'm understanding makes sense. Because if it doesn't, then I need to go back and retool my thoughts. But I don't mean to sound like I'm preaching. But I guess maybe it comes off that way. At least to my girlfriend it does. Because I have her review my videos. Just to see if what I said was of any kind of entertainment at all. And that was one of her feedback comments. But I guess, if I'm reviewing stuff out of my books before I leave, this is what's going to be on my mind as I drive. I guess I need more lighter material in my mind. Whew, I got that dizzy feeling again. That's crazy. I don't know if it's because of my caffeine. Fuck it, more caffeine. Sorry, because... all my caffeine. Let's get behind this truck so I can go nice and slow. All you maniacs can speed as much as you want. Yo, I don't know why I get dizzy like this. It's not dizzy, it's kind of like, I don't know what it is, lightheaded? Your lights are bright, sir. Wow. Congratulations. It's the new Chevy Silverado. They did okay with the redesign. I'm not all that impressed. I actually like the new Toyota Tundras. Those have been catching my eye. Toyota's been doing some nice things with their cars in terms of styling. I'm really big into the angular look of what Toyota's doing. And I'm super disappointed in everything Mercedes has done with theirs. BMW too, they're kind of looking boring. I like the way mine looks, really, over the new 3 Series. It doesn't look all that great. It looks just a little bland. Which is a shame. Nice. Comfortable 60 miles an hour behind this truck. Can't hear my tunes over the wheel noise. I don't want to turn it up, but this is what I would be hearing. Let's see. turn it loud. I think it'd probably be okay if this is on. This is classical. This is my ride every morning. Before I started filming, this is what I would hear. I never listened to classical music before I met my girlfriend, but she got me into it. I absolutely love it. And plus, it's the best way to control my energy as I drive. It's relaxing. I'm very easily influenced. I have come to realize this. I'm one of those people that's super easily influenced by external energy, which is a gift and a curse. So if I'm around the right energy, oh, I'm in. But if I'm also around the wrong energy, oh, I'm in. So, in order to keep my little speed demon under control on the road, classical music's where it's at. See, but the problem is I also love EDM, but I use that at work. So if to get me going and to amp up my energy and get me moving, EDM. Almost there. Doing about 61. This truck is starting to catch up to me. Sir, you're gonna have to deal with it. Nice and lit up right here. I like what they did on the freeway right here. Should all the freeway, I don't know why I didn't think ahead. All the freeway should be nice and lit, just like this. They just weren't thinking. Again? Is that what's happening? Again. He's doing some sort of work. My exit better be available. They did this once and then they blocked off my exit, so I had to take the next one. Oh man, I was a little bit of a mess because I get turned around in areas that I don't know very easy. My sense of direction gets messed up. My internal compass, and it's weird because there's like these weird turnabouts out here. It's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a four-way stop that goes in a complete circle. Okay, I can get back over. I don't know what they're always doing right here, but they can't seem to just get it done. Not have to block off these exits anymore. Sometimes that's the drawback of getting paid by the hour. When you get paid by the hour, you tend to want to stretch your time out as long as possible. But if you just get paid by the project, you're trying to finish that as quickly as you can, efficiently and properly. But you want to expedite that project. Either way, time is money. actually, your time is more valuable than money, if you think about it. You can spend money, you can always get it back. You can always earn money back. But once you spend time, that is gone for good. No way to get your time back. So be careful how and with who you spend your time with. Come on, turn green so I don't have to stop. Yeah, like it. You can really feel the sportiness of this car in a turn. This sucker has almost no body roll. If you take a turn quick, you know, normally it kind of wants to lean to the side. This car does not do that. It stays level. It's kind of cool. But again, a little speed demon. Can't be letting that take control. I could get myself in trouble. So I don't do it. Here's another good tune. See? This is how I roll into work. Yeah. That's how we do it. Bunch of uncultured swine. This is how you roll. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend's gonna be like, yeah, that's copywritten. You can't play that on your video. Screw it, I did it anyways. All right, so I've arrived. Turn that off. Car's off. Let's put all my goodies away. All right, everybody. What was the thought of the day? I don't even know. I talked about a bunch of stuff. Expand your mind into new territory. Allow it to explore. Try to move past the rigid conformity of all the rules and methods that have gotten you to where you are today. If you could do that, then all that extra effort going into the new will help move you further into the future. Or something like that. That sounds about right. Okay. Let's have a great day. Let's go to work.